Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, I, Mavish Hena, is going to discuss 7 C's of communication with you. As you know that previously we have talked about reading comprehension and dictionary skills and other things related to reading. Now, as and also that you know that in your BBA, in your banking field, communication is very essential. Therefore, let's talk about 7 C's of communication. What are 7 C's and how can they help? Introduction. 7 C's are also known as 7 principles of communication. They provide a useful checklist and they are applicable to both written as well as for oral communication. In any organization, communication is critical for it to function correctly. When a message is transferred internally or externally, the firm is certain to increase the productivity and efficiency. However, if the channels are not clearly defined, relying of information may be a big problem. Therefore, poor communication channels may lead to redundancy of tasks and productivity of low quality goods and services. To help with this, there are 7 C's of communication that has to be incorporated in the organization. These are the 7 C's of communication, starting from completeness, concreteness, courtesy, correctness, clarity, consideration, and conciseness. We are going to talk about all these 7 C's because as you can see that these 7 words, they are all starting from C, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and these 7 points are starting from C. That is why they are known as 7 C's of communication. Okay, first of all, let's talk about completeness. The particular principle requires excellent communication. This means the message sent within the firm or outside needs to have all required details. Figures and graphs can be included if needed to be, or no information should be left out. That is why everything, every detail should be complete. Nothing should be left out. When a section of message is omitted, it is discarded, it is termed incomplete, and these leave the employees and consumer imagining, because then the message is not complete and the other person, the receiver of the message, keeps on thinking at his own that what that message would be. Later their imagination turns into doubt, and this affects production and sales. Therefore, information sent to the employees or consumer has to have additional information if needed to be. This wins the trust and the quality of product, and sales will increase. And what are the features of completeness? It gives complete information to the employees or consumer and nothing is left out of the message. Completeness of message develop the company's image, hence increase the market share. Complete information about a product persuade the consumer buying the product. This is because they trust and that the product being offered to serve a practical need. This in turn improves sale. Then the second point is conciseness. It is also part of 7 C's of business communication. This dictates that the information sent to relevant parties should have use fewer words. It should not be lengthy. It should not be elaborative. Instead, it should use a fewer word in such a way that the message is complete. Keep in mind all these 7 C's are interconnected. They cannot be taken as one aloof information. They are all interconnected. You have to use concise message, but again it should be delivered in such a way that the message is complete, nothing is left out. However, that doesn't mean excluding the other 7 C's of communication, as I just explained. The message sent should not have vague words. They should be clear words. It should not be unclear. This ensures the information submitted by firm is straight to the point and easy to comprehend. And what are the features for conciseness? Incorporating this form of communication about product saves time and money, because obviously when message is sent in a concise way, in a smaller way, in a compact way, it will save your time for the reader as well as it will save the money. Let's say if they are spending money on stationery, it will be saved because it will be concise. It is not repetitive, which grasps the attention of the consumer when placed on an advertisement. The message is usually short and precise, and it highlights the main point in fewer words. This makes it easy for an employee to understand regardless of the educational background. The next point that we are going to discuss is consideration. Consideration is something a firm should look into when communicating with its employees. The message has to be logical and in line with the topic. For example, let's take an example. For example, when it comes to the mission, values and goals of the firm, it has to be sensible and achievable. It should not be an unachievable target. It should be, because you know that human beings have a very specific capacity. They cannot work beyond their capacity. So the goals and the values set by the administration should be of the level that it is achievable by the employees. They should not feel harassed or stressed while achieving that goal. If a construction firm is undertaking a project that takes a span of 4 years, the employees are supposed to be aware of this. Not that the company reduces the time frame of the project and increase the working hours without proper communication. This affects the employees and the output will be of low quality. And what are the features for consideration? The message should concentrate more on the employees or consumer and not the company. Right? The message which is sent should be concentrated on employees and consumer. It should look for the betterment of employees and consumer, and the present the employees with it should present the employees with logical project that can be achieved and not straining them, because the betterment of, if as you have read in China's Way to Progress, second year, chapter 8, that it is the people that are decisive, not the things, right? It is if the nation is happy, if the employees are happy, they will ultimately lead towards the betterment of the company. They will lead towards the success of the company. Therefore, if the employees are happy, they are given an achievable task without straining, they will work for the betterment of the company automatically, right? Then the next point is clarity. Clarity, a firm needs to be clear on the message being put across, whether formal or informal. And an organization is made up of people, and everyone has an idea of how a project should be done. By establishing a common mission, vision, or the project, the employees and staff will work towards achieving it. The goal set for the company should be clear so that they know that this is what we are going to achieve, right? Beside this, the message sent towards your consumer, towards your buyer, it should be clear as well. The clarity of language should be there so that it is easily understandable. However, a communication about these factors need to reach all the employees. The directive should start from the top management. Later, the same message must trickle down to the lower and middle management. And what are the features? And also, clarity ensures that one goal is completed before embarking on another. Right? So it should not happen that the one of the project is on its way and ignoring that project altogether. You are starting a new project, because it will obviously have a bad impact on the company's reputation. Therefore, one product or one process should be completed before the starting of the new. Okay, the features of clarity are: a clear message guarantees understanding among the employees and consumer, makes use of concrete and appropriate words. It also enhances the meaning of the message. Okay. The other 3 points are concreteness, courtesy, and correctness. Let's talk about concreteness. Firms need to be clear on the information that they give to the public. Right? It should not be an abstract information. It should be concrete. How? That it should have some firm grounds. It should not be just in the air. This is where concreteness comes in as part of 7 C's of business communication. It implies, this word concreteness implies that the message conveyed to the consumer or staff has to be factual. It should be based on facts. Nothing should be assumed, or nothing should be just in the air, and should be backed up with the figures. It should be backed up with the figures. What a consumer desires is truth about the product or services to be used. If a firm chooses to lie about its product, then this will automatically decrease the sale. For example, if a company of making whitening cream, they say that our company is very good and they are selling a perfect beauty product, and within a week, after using for a week, you will be very fair and just like milk or something, giving the similes, and it does not work. Automatically people will stop buying that product, and as a result, when the company is decreasing the selling of that product, it will be a loss on the part of the company. On the other hand, the consumer can also sue for damages since the information given is false. This affects the company's or firm's reputation as well. The feature that the features that correctness gives or has is, it contains specific facts and figure, and the words used are usually clear, and also builds the reputation of the company. The second point is courtesy. I have explained the third point already, right? So no, it was concreteness. ठीक है, sorry. Now the second point is courtesy. Consumer want to feel appreciated and respected after and before purchasing product. This gives them a sense of belonging, right? If a company is, let's say, or a bank, let's talk about a bank. If a person is opening an account in the bank, and the bank keeps on adding to the benefit of that account holder, the account holder will be happy, and they will obviously ask more people to come for that branch or that bank or whatsoever. Similarly, if a company, if person is buying something from a firm, let's say, and that thing turned out to be very good, and also they give you the buyer, they give the buyer some gift hampers along with that product. The person will also ask his friends or family members to go for that firm because they are very good and courteous. Similarly, they say that this gives them a sense of belonging, right? Therefore, businesses need to show these emotions when communicating with them. A courteous message should show sincerity, politeness, and enthusiasm when he or she reads it. This paints a picture that you have taken into consideration his or her feelings before selling to them. A good business message also ensures the information sent to the employees reflects the same. This then guarantees that they will remain loyal to the company, right? So, in order to attract the buyer, you should be courteous enough. And what are the features? Such information sent to the consumer or employees is not biased. The words used to craft the message are polite and positive. The message sent by the firm from the top management should incorporate the views of the employees. And then we have last point, correctness. The correctness of information ensures that there is understanding between the management and the employees, investors, or consumers. Hence, no grammatical error are expected. For example, if the firm is looking for an uh, investor to finance their projects, they should ensure the ideas and the thoughts being pitched to the investors are correct and arranged in the right manner. This gives the investors confidence to have their money in the project, but when the idea is pitched incorrectly, that means it isn't clear and it cannot be understood. Therefore, the investor is likely to walk away. And the features are it as contains figures, graph, and specific facts. The impact of the message is significant because there is an understanding between the management and the staff and the investors. There is use of correct and appropriate language in the message. So these are the 7 C's of communication which I have just explained. These 7 C's are, just for recap, these 7 C's are clarity, completeness, conciseness, concreteness, courtesy, correctness, and consideration. And these are very essential for a firm to run, because if you want to establish your successful business, you should incorporate these 7 C's in order to become a successful businessman or woman throughout the area.